Alright, so this video goes along with the notes that are given in class for the angle addition postulate and having to do with angle addition. We did segment addition, we did the segment addition postulate, so this is very similar to it, except instead of being applied to line segments, it's being applied to angles. Alright, so we're going to look at this picture over here on the right. And it says, if D is in the interior of angle ABC, then, well, remember that ABC names the angle, so it's this outside angle right here, and D is in the interior of that. So when you have that, you're going to say that angle ABD plus the angle of DBC equals the angle of ABC. So again, like with segments, the pieces of segment equal the whole thing. Well, here we have two angles, angle ABD, which is this first angle right here, and then we have the second angle, DBC, that's forming over here, that they say if you add those two angles up, which again we're talking about degrees, then that equals ABC, the angle on the very outside here. Alright, so we're going to do that. We're going to do first with some numbers, and then we're going to throw in some algebra. Okay, so we're looking at this picture right here, ABC and ABD. So we're going to take this picture right here, we're going to apply what we have written right here. So this thing is being used twice, so I think it might be easier if I take this picture and kind of sketch it in here. Alright, so, because we're using it twice, so I'll use it, let's see, let me draw this thing. Okay, so that's A, B, C, and then D is right there. Okay, so they're saying ABD, remember follow with your eyes, ABD, is 48, so I'm going to write the angle measure of 48 into, get a little closer. Okay, so we got 48, and then it says DBC, follow with your eyes, is 78. And they want to know what is the angle of ABC, so the whole thing. So all I have to do is take 48 and add to it 78. Which is 126. So it's 126 degrees. And that's how you do it with just numbers. Alright, so usually they ask you in these types of questions, they'll either ask you, they'll give you the two pieces and ask you for the whole thing, or they give you the whole thing, give you one of the pieces, one of the smaller angles, and you have to find the other one. So that's probably the way we're going to do it on this next one. Alright. So it says here, and I'm going to use this picture off to the left for this problem. DBC is 74. So again, we write our angle measures inside the bend of the angle. ABC, that means the whole thing. So how am I going to do that? I'm just going to go like this to kind of show that I'm talking about the whole angle. ABC is 119. So what they want to know is, what is ABD? They want to know what's in there. So in this case, it's a subtraction problem. So I take 119, take away 74, and that leaves me with 45, looks like. So ABD is 45 degrees. So you're either going to do an addition problem or you're going to do a subtraction problem. Now, when we start applying algebra, we still think of the same ideas, except we've got letters that are involved. All right, so I'll go through each type, but you can see is what we just did up here with numbers. We're applying that same thought process when we're doing it with the algebra. All right, so it says here PQR is 141. So they're telling me all of this is 141, and they want to know, how do I find X? That's the first thing. Well, I know that these two pieces, so again, what I had you practice with segments, I'm going to have you practice with angles. So we're going to say PQS plus SQR equals PQR. Okay? So just like we did with line segments, we're going to do the same thing with angles. So PQS is this angle right here. Oh, I stuck my finger. PQS is right here. SQR is the smaller angle here. And we're saying it's equal to the whole thing. This whole thing here. That's what we're doing. And so all we have to do is fill in the algebra in with the statement that I have written right here. So PQS is 13x plus 4 plus, okay, 10x minus 1 equals, and PQR is 141. So I clean up my math here, my algebra. We got 13x and 10x, that's 23x. We have a plus 4 and a minus 1, so in the end we've only added 3, equals 141. Subtract 3 from both sides. Again, this is the algebra portion of this. You could use your, you can use Desmos if you want to figure this out, but I'm going to do it anyway. Alright, so 138 divided by 23 is 6. Right, so 6 is the answer. Now, for the variable. Anytime they ask you for anything other than the variable, that means I have to plug in the variable in for some expressions that are over here. Alright, so remember that the little m means measure. So we're looking for numbers here. Alright, so the measure in degrees. So PQS. Well, PQS is over here, and it's represented by 13x plus 4. So over here, I'm going to put down here PQS measure is equal to 13x plus 4. So I'm going to plug in the 6 in for the x, and we get 82. So 82 degrees. Alright, now we're going to do the same thing with SQR. Okay, SQR, I'm just going to squeeze it in here if I can. SQR is equal to 10x minus, x, there's an x in there, 10x minus 1. So again, 10 times 6 minus 1, which is 59, which is 59 degrees. Now, if you wanted to check your work, again, I know that, in this case, I know that the biggest angle is 141. And these are the two little angles that make up that 141. So if I add these two together, I will get 141 degrees. So that's kind of a check, if you have that ability to know what the total is for the big angle versus the two pieces. Okay? So it's like part plus part equals whole. If you want to think of it that way, that's a part of the big angle, this is a part of the big angle, and this is the big angle. So part plus part equals whole. Alright, excuse me. So now I want to do the next one. Alright, so sometimes it's also easier if, see how this picture has it labeled with the algebra in it? And this one picture does not, so we're going to squeeze that stuff in if we can. Alright, so it says DEF is 7x plus 4. So DEF is all on the outer edge here, so that means that's the big angle. That's the whole angle, the total angle. So again, I do this to mark, then I'm writing the whole angle in. So that's 7x plus 4. DEG, follow with your eyes, DEG is 5x plus 1. So here, it's 5x plus 1. And now we've got GEF, follow with your eyes, GEF is 23. So that's 23 in there. Alright, so it says find each measure. So again, I know the measure of DEG, one of the small pieces, plus the measure of GEF, which is the other small piece, totals the big piece, DEF. Again, small piece plus small piece equals the large piece on the outside. So then I just have to fill in what I know. Well, DEG is 5x plus 1 plus GEF is 23. So I put the 23 in there. And my total is 7x plus 4. That's my total. Right here. 7x plus 4. Okay, so now I have 5, clean it up. 5x plus 24 equals 7x plus 4. Now you get the variables on one side and the numbers on the other. Again, you could use Desmos on this. You could put it into the graphing function and figure out the intersection, and we've practiced that before. I will review that on another video. Alright, so I'm going to bring the x's. I always try to subtract the small amount of x's from the bigger amount, so I own larger numbers so that I end up with a positive x. So this is 2x plus 4. Since I sent the number, or excuse me, the letters over to the right, I'm going to bring them 4 over to the left. So I got 20 equals 2x. So x divided by 2, divided by 2, x is 10. And this guy is 10. Now I'm going to do the same things before. So I have all this room over here. I'm actually going to use some of this room. Alright, so we know the measure of angle DEG, the one we're looking for, DEG is 5x plus 1. But now that we know what x is, we can change this into a degree, into some numbers. So 5 times 10 plus 1. Now, see, I'm plugging the x I got over here into my expression. So anytime I need anything that has algebra in it, I can now change them into numbers by using the variable that I got, the x value I got. So this looks like it's going to be 5 times 10, which is 50, plus 1 is 51. So DEG over here is 51 degrees. Alright, DEF. So DEF is the whole thing. So the measure of DEF is the 51 that we just got, DEG. Actually, let's skip a step. Measure of DEG plus the measure of GEF. I just copied that from this guy. Alright, we now know that DEF we don't know. Actually, I'm just doing DEF, right? Oh, never mind. I'm making this harder than it is. Okay, we have DEF as 7x plus 4, so all I have to do is 7 times 10 plus 4. Sorry about that. I don't really need to do all that work. So it's 74 degrees. 74 degrees. If you notice, if I take the 51 degrees that I got from the previous thing I did and add the other piece, which was 23, I could have gotten 74 that way too. So remember, this is now, technically this is now 51 degrees. So 51 and 23 is 74, which is what I got. But it was so much quicker just to punch it in to the expression I had, the 7x plus 4. I have it right here. DEF is 7x plus 4. I also have it written in the picture. So if you're a visual learner, the best thing you could do is to mark your picture, because you want to see everything applied. Reading it is tough if you can't apply it to the picture. Alright, so let's do this last one. Alright, so JKM is 43, and MKL, follow your eyes, is 8x minus 20, and JKL, that's the whole thing, is 10x minus 11. So again, the measure of angle, small piece, JKM,